as a people with one song, with one voice, we're a nation undivided and poised. We will take a stand and build our land in faith to defend what is ours. Here we are as a people with one heart for one cause. We're determined to rebuild and restore. Where freedom reigns and truth prevails. Our land where there's hope for us all. Our land where there's hope for us all. We'll defend our land. We believe in this nation, and we know we'll get there. We'll defend our land. We believe in Nigeria and the promise she holds, and that one day we'll shine like the sun. We're a great nation. Though we are many people, different tribes, different tongues, we're united in our strength and resolve to someday we would shine like the sun. From the north, south, east, and west, somebody say, if you believe to the same, with the foot alone, but all we have, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, say we are, yeah, with the foot alone. I believe, and I know you do too, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh.
Woke up to an eerie morning, no children playing, no sounds of greetings, one neighbor to another. Oh, it's quiet and gloomy. Please don't live here no more. No more.
Can't believe how much we've hurt each other. Can't believe the damage we've done.
Brothers hurting brothers, neighbor harming neighbors.
Children grieving for their parents, hacked down before their time.
Oh, I can't go out. I don't know who to trust. Fear is just the other of the day.
Is this the way we want to live? Oh,
With peace, we don't have to grieve. When peace reigns, fear goes out the door. With peace, we can work out our differences. Put an end to all the hate. With peace, we don't have to grieve. When peace reigns, fear goes out the door. With peace, we can work out our differences. Put an end to all the hate.
Oh, I know you were hurt. The blow you've been down, so yeah.
it's deep like a knife, but we mustn't pay back in kind.
Leave no room in your heart for vengeance and hatred, no, no. An eye for an eye, so leaves everyone blind.
Hey, we have our differences. We cannot change things making war.
Without peace, all dreams down hold.
Without peace, there's no room to build. So much work to be done.
To make Nigeria the country of our dreams.
With peace, when peace reigns, fear goes out the door. With peace, we can work out our differences. Put an end to all the hate. With peace, we don't have to grieve. When
mind. Nigeria on my mind. Born in diversity, blessed beyond compare.
Through these 100 years, our struggles and through all our fears,
We're strong in our unity. Peace, our destiny. Here we are.
standing tall.
We're standing tall. Standing tall.
We are one.
We are 100 years.
Of unity,
Nigeria. We will stand. We will stand.
Oh, this land of mine,
This land of mine.
Nigeria, on my mind,
On my mind.
I pledge
To you, my loyalty, my love, my ability.
Ooh, and as we celebrate ourselves, we shall be dedicated
To serve a new Nigeria, for a better land for all. Here we are, standing tall.
through adversities. We are one.
100 years, unity,
Nigeria.
Yes, we're back here. It's the Bumper Breakfast, and we had to give you some information about the news trending all around town. Information that is meant for you to read, of course, telling you exactly what is happening all around. Simply, if you cannot pick up the papers this morning, you simply lack the time to go through the pages of social media, and at least the social media handles of verified news agencies. My name is Tomisin, and this is the Bumper Breakfast, and this is how we start this morning. Right behind me is a Christmas tree, which tells me that Christmas is coming. Daddy back. My father is there. Okay, many of my other daddies. Oh yeah, oh yeah. But of course, I know that that kind of dance is something I can bring Tessy in to dance with me this morning, because she's also so excited that Christmas is coming here. She's already planning an entire wardrobe for Christmas, how she's going to be doing the red, the white, the gold, and all that. What? Glasses get money.
Morning, Tomisin.
How are you, George?
Good morning. I'm fine.
But it's true. It feels like Christmas.
Yes, actually, I can smell Christmas. Like I do tell people, I smell Christmas.
You can smell Christmas?
Yes, I can smell Christmas.
Really?
Yes, I can smell Christmas. And you know, this season is, I used to tell people that this season is a season of love, it's a season of giving, and it's a season of love.
Definitely.
And some guys will say, okay, this season I don't want a girlfriend because
this is the time
because of the list. That this is the time, because of the list they're going to bring, but you know, there is nothing sharing.
This is the time for plenty spending. Of course, a lot of men would not want, in fact, they wouldn't want any girl to come near them. They don't want to ask any girl out now. They wouldn't want anybody to come near them because they definitely do know that any guy that comes to them will definitely have something else.
And again, you know what I love most about Christmas is time to do chicken wraps. I love yes, because on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day, if you are home, you just be smelling different aroma from different houses. I'm telling you, from different houses.
And then in some communal areas, they bring food for you. You take food for you, and
you take food to them. You know, it's
and
a lot of
actually, you know that your neighbor and yourself, you're not friends. You know.
Yeah.
But on Christmas Day, your neighbor will bring something.
Your neighbor will bring something. And that's why it's a season of love. It's a season of forgiveness. And it's a season of forgiveness. I'm telling you.
It's as if everybody just remembers that, you know what? Let's bury our differences and just celebrate the season together.
Yeah.
But I came across an article that Christmas was going to be dull. They say it looks as if Santa Claus is going to be a holiday this year. Because this time last year, even in MITB, we had a Santa Claus. So maybe we should have a Santa woman. I can just give you a Santa outfit. You just visit me every day on the Bumper Breakfast, and I'm cool. And my Christmas is complete.
I won't burn briefly though because of the issue. You know, 2020, it's a tough year. 2020 is tough, but we thank God we made it.
Yeah, through the year, from coronavirus
to excess and everything.
All of that.
So if Santa is not coming, I can understand. But I believe Santa will definitely come.
Santa should
but
come
what
on.
I think is, instead of Santa should be around for like 1 month or a month, maybe Santa is going to be around for like 2 weeks or a week. Because those children need to see Santa.
Maybe
they need to
one
see
teacher in
Santa.
their
Those kids
school,
need to see
since
Santa.
they're still in school, one teacher in their school on the last day of school should just do Santa Claus.
To just do Santa Claus, because those kids, they really need
Maybe one day.
We need to make them feel alive.
Or maybe they do class by class, 1 day each. So maybe a class 1 day, the next class 1 day. It could be a good idea.
But I know Santa is on his way. But Santa should be there already. Santa is on his way.
There are some mommies who want to sit on Santa's lap and collect candy and chocolate, and Tessy happens to be one of them.
Yes.
I just want the gifts.
And I can't wait to eat chicken. Last year I got gift.
Really?
I got gift last year Christmas.
So you're looking forward to the gifts already?
But this 2020 I don't understand. But 2019 I got gift. I got shoes, bag. Someone gave me.
A phone. I got a phone.
Yes, okay, you got a phone.
I got a phone.
And someone gave me a nice shoe, which happens to be
my best shoe.
That's true.
I used to give you a shoe.
Yeah, I got gifts last year.
She's stuck in the UK. There is lockdown in the UK. She's not coming to give you shoes this time. That must have been Pastor Juliet. Pastor Juliet. All right, let's take a look at the papers this morning. We're in our spirits. We love Christmas and we're looking forward to the Christmas season. But of course, Nigeria is still a project. You must consider and take a look at. The banner headline this morning of the Guardian newspaper simply reads: Nigeria rakes in 7.8 trillion naira from company income tax in 6 years. Round to Bloomberg session on low tax revenue, CITN president is talking there. A financial institution, telcos contribute 21%. Economists seek expansion of tax net reclassification. Stop paying lip service to insecurity, Sultan tells the federal government. Ebonyi indigenous condemn killing of Nwode and fiancé over refusal to join APC. What's that supposed to mean? Why was sent a memorandum to the National Assembly on devolution of powers by Biafra agitators? Motorists trapped in gridlock after twin tanker explosions on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. And lifeline for Benin team as APC next set to extend their tenure. You see the issue of this tanker explosion, Tessy. It has come to a point where someone like me, I'm actually scared most times to drive beside a tanker or be in a vehicle that is
Even to overtake
beside
them, it's so
a
scary.
tanker. I was going home about 2 nights ago. I think it was Tuesday night. I was going home at about was it Tuesday night? I think it was Monday night. I was going home at about 7:30, 8 o'clock. I was on the expressway, and somewhere before Todola Bridge, 2 tankers were driving side by side. So there were
One is trying to overtake the other.
Now there was a traffic. The road had been cordoned off at that point, reduced. Now these 2 tankers were side by side. 2 cars were also side by side, so there were 4 lanes on the outgoing Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The gap between the 2 of them is my challenge. Do you know that they practically were body to body? Both of them, both tankers, were practically driving body to body. As in, there was practically not the space. The space in between cannot, a rider on a bicycle cannot pass through the space in between the 2 of them. Meanwhile, the 2 vehicles that were normal vehicles, normal drivers, on their side, my car and another car, the gap between both of us, 2 bikes each, can pass through. Now, we gave them gap. But if anything happens to the 2 of them, imagine the number of cars on the expressway that would have been affected. They were practically brushing against each other. Does that make sense? Is my question. How will you be driving a tanker and it doesn't occur to you to give the next tanker beside you some gap, space? I mean, there is the recommended space between 2 vehicles. There is the recommended space between the vehicle in front and the vehicle at the back. Same applies to the vehicle on the sides.
Common sense should even let them know. Common sense should tell them
anything
that.
can happen.
Anything
Let's
can
not
happen.
move close to each other.
Yeah.
We are the same. In fact, any vehicle tries to run away from a tanker. Now, why would 2 tankers struggle for road? And so much so that they're almost brushing. I mean, for like 5 minutes, I intentionally just kept waiting, driving slowly so that other cars will keep overtaking me, so I could give them some space and stay away from them. The attitude of these drivers is a really big issue.
You know, at times on the road, the way some people drive, you look at them as if they want to commit suicide. The way some people drive on the road is so scary.
Like one of our colleagues here will say, they have 9 lives.
They have 9 lives.
Maybe they got 8 at home.
8 at home. Because the way some people drive, no matter how important it is, no matter how urgent it is, you should drive with common sense on the road. You don't need to be told. You don't need to go to a training school for that. Because once you can put your vehicle on the road, that means you should be above 18 years.
Which means you must be sensible, reasonable, and emotionally stable enough. Unfortunately, the situation around the country, the situation around the world itself, the economic crunch, of course, has affected a lot of people mentally. So let's say that a lot of people are not mentally okay.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people are not mentally okay.
So that's the excuse.
No, I'm just saying. A lot of people are not mentally okay. So maybe we should remove mental stability from the list. But at least, I mean, the fear of death, the fear of being maimed, the fear of accident should caution you
the fear of you not going back home to your family.
She cautioned you
They are
enough to
waiting
want to
for you.
behave
People waiting for
normally.
you.
But a lot of people just drive on the expressway or even on side roads. Have you seen the ones who drive on side roads like they have night lights too? They're on the side road. Yeah. Like somebody is in between Alausa and ShopRite, and you are speeding at 60, 80. And you obviously know that there are 2 traffic lights before you get to Ikeja City Mall.
Yeah.
So why would you be running? Where are you running to? By the time you enter from Nudi Nolohopo to get to the front of the barracks, you're going to be stopped by a traffic light. And then you move from there, which means there's a traffic light. That you're going straight, you need to slow down. And then you continue your journey. You're going to ShopRite, mind you, which means at the next traffic light, you're going to take a right, which means you need to also slow down. There is no reason for you to speed as if you are on a free expanse of land where there are no vehicles coming. And that's the way we drive. Everybody drives like, I'm the owner of the road.
And I've even seen some of them taking the wrong way. Maybe because there's traffic here, they cross over to the wrong way and they'll still be speeding. Have you seen that
and
today?
Then they're speeding, and then when you caution them,
they'll curse you. They will curse you.
Mind you, it would have been good if it was in Lagos State. But this is something that in the art of Ibadan is there. This is something that if you go to Elisha, it's there. This is something that if you go to
it's
Ado,
everywhere.
It's there. If you move
this part of the world.
If you move to places like Deba, you move all the way to the north, it's there. So what are we talking about? It's an attitude thing. And the accidents that we keep seeing on a daily basis should be enough caution. Especially at this time that Christmas is coming.
Yeah.
I remember the days of the Ember month.
Where
everybody's in a rush, everybody's excited and all that. And there is the possibility that some people will be drinking every day.
Yeah.
And usually increases the sad stories. Me, I don't think it's a spiritual thing, as a matter of fact. I think it's just the recklessness that comes with the moment, with the excitement that comes with the moment. So people get more reckless, they drink more, they get much more insensitive about their lives. And the fact that, people now begin to take unnecessary risk. You've drank 7 bottles of beer, and then you want to drive all the way to your house. Common sense should tell you to drop your vehicle and take a bus.
Do you know some people drunk drive?
That's what I'm saying.
They drunk drive. I've seen someone before that took like 15 bottles and he drove himself home.
Okay.
But when he got home, he now opened his door and he slept off in his car, right in front of his gate.
And so, if robbers were going to come and attack him,
you see, that kind of attitude is not even needed this season.
At the time when we're talking COVID-19, the insurgency is everywhere. We're talking about dealing with armed robbery. We're talking about cultists,
Security.
There is insecurity.
There's insecurity.
The government is trying to just contain things, and then we now put ourselves and put our lives in the hands of people who can. We need
to help ourselves and help the government.
We really need to. Let's look at the Nation newspaper this morning.
All right, the Nation newspaper, as it's just what we were talking about, we have a picture of a tanker which exploded at Magburu along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway.
Just the same thing. Front page story.
Yes.
Front page story from every paper
Governors
this morning.
fear spread of insurgency to other regions. Sultan, no place is safe in Nigeria now. Buhari to honor house invitation. Bandits kill 4 in attack on market. Now, attack on market again. If we do not take the necessary steps, the entire nation will be consumed by this insurgency. It's coming from Gulf, and bandits now rule in many communities. The set rules that must be obeyed. Sultan, killing of Bono farmers' crew, says UN envoy. COVID-19 vaccine for rollout in UK. And Tinubu condones with Zulum, 774,000 jobs failed to take off again. Funding, logistics to blame. Hashtag NSS police asks courts to stop judicial panels. Bankers award. Police impound 2 billion bands moving cash.
The CP of Lagos State, was talking about this bullion vans and was seriously correcting the banks, speaking about it. Just this morning was in the news this morning, asking the banks to beware. don't move cash without security agencies. Do you know that quite a number of billion vans just move around these days? And it looks as if the miscreants and the unscrupulous elements too have targeted them. So you hear of robbing of a bullion van again and again and again. And the CP was just talking about it in Lagos today.
And why will they even do that? Why will you move cash without security? Why? So that you want to come and tell a story that touches the heart? So that people will start saying there's no insecurity in Lagos. Why will you move cash without without being guided by security or personnel?
And then there is a standard kind of vehicle that you should use to move cash.
You know, when I was growing up in those days, whenever I see bullion van, I'm always scared, because then we used to hear stories of how bullion vans are being robbed. They attacked them a lot in those days.
In those days.
But now, I think it's more seasoned now.
It was just between the #SARS protests and now that we began to hear things like that again.
Like that again, yeah.
Before then, there was nothing like bullion vans being robbed.
Yeah.
Who dares?
Who dares, yeah.
Because the vehicles were, remember in the days when we were growing up, it was just a Hilux vehicle with a back, the same kind of vehicle.
They've always been attacked.
They've always been attacked.
So when I see them then, I have this phobia that whenever I see a bullion van, I believe they are under attack. They rob them. So I'm always like running away from them. Wait, what's wrong with this lady? Why is she running?
Exactly.
What's wrong with this girl?
But actually, even makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, but it really does make sense for you to be able to do things like that. It doesn't even work, Tessy, for the police to now put up bullion vans with police personnel inside, maybe like anti-squad, whatever, inside. And let's just move around in the name of carrying cash, even though there is no cash that I put this bed inside it. And let the boys attack. Lay an ambush. It could be a good ambush. So I think the police also may need to explore. You know, there are so many things that actually gives room for you to take advantage and create loopholes and then use the loopholes to catch the people to want to catch. Just instead of money, if there is a collaboration between the people who own the bullion vans and the bands and then the police, I'm sure they can catch these guys in Amen. Just 2, 3, 4, 5 operations and they're able to just get all of them. And then they will desist. It's only when it gets away with it the first time, the second, the third, then they continue. Because now they assume they have a field. They can now go everywhere they want to go. You're still looking at 774,000 jobs.
Failed to take off the game.
Okay. Oh, the Punch newspaper was supposed to take up in December anyway. The Punch newspaper this morning, Boko Haram insurgents, retired generals, NEF, others warn against hiring mercenaries. Nobody will fight insurgents for us. Mercenaries hired in the past fled. The ex-GOC is talking. Call for mercenaries, a fatal indictment on the military, says the Northern Elders. Boko Haram attack sponsored by international community to destabilize Nigeria. Army stop. Really? Commuters, motorists stranded as tanker explodes on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Gunmen kill Assistant Police Commissioner visiting family in Cross River. Abiodun presents 339 billion naira budget to Ogun Assembly. We've arrested suspected killers of Ondo Monarch. Amotekun are talking there. Amotekun seems to be working in Ondo State. Remember that
Amotekun must work.
You know, the wife of one of the government officials was actually rescued. And then the killers of my king, the king they actually killed was my king. Wow. He's the king of my hometown, yes. He's actually my uncle. So I'm glad if the people they arrested, you know, if the people are the true killers, you know, we will be glad to give us some measure of, you know, peace of mind.
But you know this Amotekun issue, I thought all the Southwest governors have agreed on Amotekun, right?
Hey, but everybody's working on it. Oh, your state has started? Osun State has started?
What's the Lagos State? Why?
Lagos is the only one that, okay, Ogun too.
Ogun State?
Ogun has started, but there's no news, about Amotekun for now. So I think Ogun and Lagos are the ones still
lagging behind.
Yeah, a little bit in the implementation of the agreement and all that.
Oh, okay.
But Ondo, of course, Amotekun is working already.
That's my town, you know.
That's our town.
Sunshine State.
It's our town.
Really?
Our governor is the is the chairman of the
Yeah.
Southwest Government.
Yeah.
Forum. Yeah. And our governor needs Amotekun because in the bushes of Ondo State, in the bushes of Ondo State, kidnappings and all that had happened for too long a time. So yes, Governor Rosimakere, he keep them mulling and coming about all of the corners. And I think, do you know how difficult it is for you to travel from, where Elegloka is? That was where the Oba was killed. Some of those roads, in those days, sometimes you just see huts and farms.
Yeah.
You don't see houses.
You don't see houses.
Well-established houses and all that, or villages. The villages are a little bit away from the road.
Yeah.
So I can just imagine if you don't take Amotekun to the areas where they are, where they can operate very well. Let them enter the bushes and fish out these people because we have too many bushes and farms and all that in those states. Okay, we have kidnappers collect 100 million naira in Kwara to free Ekiti Chinese workers. 6 cultists nabbed while fighting over gun deal. That's another one. Emir of Kano visits Oni. 6 youth empowerment. Right. When it mentioned Emir of Kano, I kind of always think that's Sanusi Muhammadu Sanusi III. That's what I think when I'm talking about Emir of Kano. And I forgot that it was removed. Matter honors to pay 250,000 naira for gas conversion. Silver's age is talking. Zenith emerges bank as the world's bank of the year. Military can cope with Nigeria's security challenges. The governors are talking. Of course, the chairman of the Governors Forum there, Dr. Kaya Defayemi, championing that story. Federal government raises panel to renegotiate 1999 agreements with ASU and others. Do you know NASU began their strike today? Non-academic staff in universities.
ASU strike.
ASU wants to call off.
They should go come and kill us. They should go come and kill the students. No, that's it. They should go come and kill us. That's what the students should be saying right now.
I really do not get
They
it.
should go come and kill us.
When it comes to education in
Because
Nigeria,
now we're still battling with ASU strike.
I don't get
ASU
it.
strike is on now. No, they just need to kill us.
and that was one of the reasons why I was seriously against the IPRS turning to the one ASU brought. Why was I not liking the story? There is no way ASU will propose something that it will be acceptable to NASU.
To NASU, yeah.
And then SANU. You still
SANU
have
again.
SANU.
We have SANU.
And then you have all kinds of people now coming to say, no, use our own platform, use our own platform. Who pays the piper dictates the tune. That's what works in the private sector. Just say tweak it here and there, make it homegrown. Okay, can you introduce 1 or 2 things, to make it work? But now saying we have our own, use our
in those days,
UTAS versus
ASU, NASU.
Really?
Now we now have SANU.
Yes, now we just have union of something like that. So you have different organizations. Sincerely, I feel for the educational sector. The Minister of Education has a lot on his hands. I mean, the man will be worried. The man will be seriously worried. I don't get it. You're a minister and you know how much worry the man would have. No university in Nigeria is going to work for. No public
university
in Nigeria has gone to work for a whole year. And you have the private universities doing their thing, running smoothly. The students in the private universities are younger.
Yes.
The students in the public universities are older.
In the private university, you see a 19-year-old graduate. Because there's no stopover, there's no strike, no whatsoever.
He or she finished school at 15, did JAM, wrote post UTME, the parents can take a loan or even can afford to send emo to a private university. Goes to a private university or private polytechnic, pays through school, reads, does, they run a normal academic calendar. 3.5 years, 4 years, they're done. They're out of school. So if you graduate secondary school at 15 and you enter the university by 20, you're likely to be 7.
Actually.
But at 20, you're likely to be writing JAM to enter a public university.
Yes.
Because even if you passed JAM last year and your cutoff did not work, you're going to write JAM next year. So you keep getting older.
Yeah. Actually, while I was growing up, I went to a private primary school, a private secondary school. So when it was now time for me to go to a university, my dad suggested a private university. I said, no, Daddy, I don't want a private university. I want to experience
public
life.
University.
I want to experience.
You just be a punchite. On offense.
Actually, when I entered the university, I was like, I was a true jambite.
With absolutely no clue as to how to cope.
I was so gullible.
can imagine. You'll be gullible, you bring all of your food and they say, yeah, you have to pay tax.
I was just looking at people. What's wrong with these people? What are they doing?
You're too local for your liking, right?
But actually, when I got to 200 level, I was a done.
You became a dollar. Yeah, sincerely, you definitely will that. Please, indoctrinate me into this style. Let me come to normal. All right, the National Assembly lacks the powers to produce new constitution. Senate is talking there. That was Senator Yoruba just talking yesterday about the powers of the Ninth Assembly, and he said Nigerians shouldn't cage themselves into thinking that the Ninth Assembly would produce a new constitution. So what they have the power to do is to review. And that's what it is.
So no reduce it.
No reproduction of it. You know, people are complaining that the constitution currently is not working. He's saying don't even think about it, it's not going to work. We don't have the powers to do that. We have a mandate to only review. So it's clear that. The way he put it was really funny. Tessy, let me read the sentence to you. When I saw the sentence, I needed to just caption it and say, okay, this one is Tomisin looking for trouble. But no, that was exactly the way Senator Yoruba put the story. Oh, I wish I could just come across it. When I saw this morning, I said, boss, you should be nice to us a little bit. You know, he said something like, you shouldn't even bother. Nigerians should not keep themselves, to thinking that you could expect a new constitution. But it's not happening. You can only review. You cannot produce a new constitution. But of course, a lot of people have the expectation that Nigeria should work on the current document that we call our constitution. Apparently, a lot of people believe it's not working. Buhari to go tough on discos agents selling prepaid meters. Okay, that's one promise that I'd like to just ignore. Nigerian TV.
Nigerian TV, we have a lot of stories. They did the front page, making the first page this morning. Why Buhari should resign from Northern Elders Forum.
I saw that one this morning.
To address reps. Bandits rule communities in northern Nigeria. Bandit behead farmer in Kogi. Gunmen kill ACP in Calabar. Edo councillor kidnapped. Another 3 killed in Plateau. And on COVID-19, UK approved Pfizer BioNTech vaccine for use from next week. How extortion at Port worsen Apapa gridlock. Don't expect brand new constitution, Deputy Senate President tells Nigeria.
Senator Yoruba Gege.
Don't expect brand new constitution.
Don't.
Suspend. And in 2023, Saraki Williams tell PDP members suspend ambition, save party post. And Emir to Oshibajo, we will follow you wherever you go. Nigeria's political architecture promotes indolence. That's coming from Akeredolu. Zenith Bank emerges Bank of the Year. First Bank launches next generation ATM. CBN introduces Nigerian special bills. Amend remittances sales and suspected killers of Ondo Manek. 15 others arrested by Amotekun. 4 kidnapped victims rescued. And FG inaugurates...
Amotekun is working.
Amotekun is working. And FG inaugurates negotiation team with ASU. Others on 2009 agreement. Those are the stories that made the front page of the Nigerian Tribune news this morning.
Amotekun. I really love that story in Amotekun.
Amotekun is working. Actually, you know, when
you think it can work in Lagos?
It's true. If we wanted to work, actually, OPC once worked in Lagos. There was a time OPC, it was all about OPC until we started misbehaving one time then. You see, when Amotekun was introduced, actually the feelings we all had then was, with all these memes and all this cartoon, this thing, they will tell you on social media, like they're carrying all this local Yoruba. You understand? That was what we were expecting when they said Amotekun, because the name itself sounds so traditional. Local. I don't want to use local. It sounds
but local. Local is not a derogatory word. It's just something that says that it is deeply involved in our society. It's local. It's not foreign. Is that not the opposite of foreign?
Yes, it's the opposite of foreign. We do foreign news, we do local. So actually, the vision, what I envisioned there was like maybe Amotekun would be something local, just like you said, like they'll be carrying all these Juju Yoruba.
Do you know that was what I was expecting?
That's what I'm telling you. That was the kind of picture that was painted. Yes, you understand.
You see the uniform in Oyo State? Even the uniform in Oyo State depicted something like that.
Like that, yeah. Even when I saw the picture, I was like, when I saw the color of their uniform, like this really means danger. So, but actually, with what we're seeing now, since it's
modern.
it's modern, yeah. And since it's working in Ondo State, it's working for them. I believe it's going to work here in Lagos State because of the insecurity in Lagos State. The police are trying to bounce back. They are trying.
The serious one being
The
tried.
serious ones are trying to bounce back. Why some people, some of them will see whatever is happening and they just move away.
Because they
just
really
walk
want to
away.
preserve their lives.
Because they really
Everybody-
want to preserve their
You know,
lives.
they have the authority to, they have the opportunity to be scared as well. But
I'm
you
telling
know,
you, because the way they're being
sometimes-
attacked. Look at the senior police officer that was killed recently
in Cross River.
Cross River, Calabar.
It was
you
a
can see
really
that he
sad
was on the
one.
way to see his family.
family was a really sad
It was
one.
really sad.
Which is one of the reasons why you know, saying keeping your policemen in your neighborhood, your environment is something really, really you know, important. This is a man who's from that community.
It's from that community, yeah.
If he were killed in the north, we'll say,
The northerners killed him.
oh, it was because he doesn't speak the
He doesn't
language.
speak the
because-
language,
You
yeah.
know, but he was killed at home. At home, he was killed in his domain, in his territory. Which for me is, you know, a pointer that this was maybe a premeditated, organized, you know, attempt.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it wasn't killed in transit. It's killed when he got where almost to where he was going.
Correct.
So it sounds really, really difficult. But yeah, I was going to quote that statement by Senator Obioma Agege.
Okay. Have you seen it?
Nigerians should not engage in wishful thinking. You know, I want to actually quote. One of the issues you raised is the replacement of the 1999 Constitution. I am not so sure that we, as a parliament, have the power to replace the Constitution. We can only make amendments. It is explicit in sections 8 and 9 of the Constitution how we can do that and the requisite number of votes required. I say that because there are some top attorneys in this country who, for some reasons, keep saying that we don't even need any of this, that we should just bring a new constitution. We can't do that. What we are mandated to do by law is to look at the provisions and bring them up to date with global best practices, especially to the extent that they tally with the views of the majority of Nigerians. So we are not in a position to replace this constitution, but we can only amend. When he was asked, describe the proposal by delegation as zones should replace states as another euphemism for going back to the regions, he said, we will look into that if that is what majority of the people want. You talked about devolution of powers. The preponderance of views we have received so far is that those 68 items are very wide and need to shed some weight and move them to concurrent legislative lists. So there are so many issues that we'll be looking at this morning. Some of the things that we're talking about after this segment is the concept of restructuring, the concept of where the next president should come from. I mean, people are clamoring here and there. And of course, how do we make Nigeria work for Nigerians? We'll be back after this break.
Everything we do in life has to do with what we intend to become. There are challenges and there are challenges. Join me every Thursday 9 p.m. to